Reports, finance, and administrative activities. Item number 2021-0058, Department of Wastewater. Mr. DeGeneres?
Thank you, Madam Chair, Council,
Yes.
Parish President. Miles, could you start? Just want to give you a brief update of where we stand on wastewater. As you know, the department maintains all of the treatment plants, yes. The 3 treatment plants, over 200 lift stations, and an additional about 150 can stations around the Bayou Gauche area. We're here to make sure that we give prevent any public health hazards, and also follow all DEQ and EPA guidelines. Just to give you a brief overview of the projects, I know I've only been here about 5 months, but in 2020, there's a few projects that were done at the Destrehan plant. We started the master wastewater plan for the parish. We broke that up into three phases. We finished phase 1. We're currently starting on phase 2. So phase 1 was to identify problem areas in the parish. Phase 2, we're going to do some flow monitoring at those problem areas. And then phase 3, we'll come up with some viable projects to do to help prevent the I&I problems that we have in the parish itself. We have telemetry going on most of the lift stations. We've done about 47 of them out of the 207. We're looking to do about additional 12 this coming year. We're doing those in-house, so we have our own guys in the between Public Works and Wastewater that are building these panels and actually implementing them into our system. As you can see, the next slide is the Destrehan plant. We treated over 1.2 billion gallons of wastewater last year, and we hauled off about 2,200 tons of sludge. At the Hahnville plant, we treated about 0.97 billion gallons and hauled off just about 850 tons of sludge. The Lulen Pond is the next one. This pond is actually under construction right now. That's a $6.8 million project that we started undergoing. They're going to dredge that pond in front of you that you see, and we're going to excavate it and then add some aerators and things like that. So that project's ongoing right now. We did about 0.84 billion gallons, so a total of over 3 billion gallons we treated last year. Probably a third of that's probably drainage. So Miles is going to owe me some money on that. But we're going to try and stop the I&I, so that's one of the things with the study that we're trying to prevent. And hopefully we'll be consistent with the drainage study that's going on. So as they're fixing the drainage, we'll be fixing the sewer, so we shouldn't have that big of a problem in the future. As far as work orders, we processed over 1,748 last year, complete about 95% of those. We had called in complaints about 600. Out of those, about 112 of them were on the resident side. So we would still respond. If it was on their side, we'd let them know they'd have to get a plumber, but if there's anything that we could do to help them to alleviate something, we would try. And if it was on their side, they'd just have to contact a plumber. But we let them know and show it. We could film it and show it, and that's usually how it worked. From there, we had about 148 residential new permits and 20 commercial last year. So that's new residents coming into town with new construction, so we're slowly moving on that. And then kind of certifications for license. So this is a requirement from DEQ that all our operators have to be licensed. As you can see, we have 41 that actually carry the license, and it's different classes. You can see it broke down, and we actually have about 28 employees that actually hold a dual license, both in treatment and collection. So as far as we lose people as they go, they could shift from either the collection side or to the treatment side. So that helps us tremendously. And then kind of where we're going in the future. So we have 2 projects going on. We're doing the Destrehan UV replacement. That project's probably 45% complete. The Lulen Pond, as you saw on that slide, that one was just really started here in December. with this weather. They've been fighting. It's kind of hard to dig when you have the type of weather that we've had recently with all the rain. So they're slowly plugging through. Once we get some drier weather, I think we'll move that project a lot faster. Some things that are coming on, we're going to be replacing some drive units at the Destrehan plant and also at Booty Booster Station. We have some normal yearly maintenance, replacing diffusers at the Hahnville plant. And really, the big thing is we got permit renewals on all 3 plants this year. So we're in the process of renewing all the permits. And certainly, I'd like to invite any of y'all out. If you want to take a tour of any one of the plants, I'm more than willing to host y'all out at any one of the plants if y'all are interested. And if you have any questions, I'm here to answer any.
Thank you, Mr. DeGeneres.
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Perrier?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Thank you for that, Mr. DeGeneres. We hear so much about the drainage study in the parish. I think we've neglected to talk about, sorry, Miles, I see you shaking your head. Yeah, and it's true. So the drainage study is the thing that we focus on, since the moratorium's been in place, but I think we've neglected to really talk about the wastewater master plan that's going to come out of this study. So you mentioned in your presentation, phase 1 was complete, phase 2 is ongoing. Is phase 1 East Bank and phase 2 West Bank, or is that just?
Actually, no, it's actually was broken up into 3 parts. And we started all 3 sections at one time. So actually, on the West Bank, we broke that up into 2 halves, what goes to the Luling Pond, what goes to Hahnville plant, and then on the East Bank, what goes to that. So all those are going all at one time. So phase 1 is complete for both East and West.
Okay, so phase 2, when do you think phase 2 of your master plan is going to be finished?
It's
Just
probably going to take
roughly.
about 6 months to do, and really from phase 2, they'll probably generate some projects that would come out of that.
So you listed 12 projects for 2021. How many of those are results of the study?
None, those are just ongoing things that really need to be done.
Okay,
As far as big projects, I think we're going to see that we're going to have some undersized force mains. We're going to, we have the big I&I problem. If we could address some of the worst areas, I think that's what we're going to concentrate on, is try to reduce I&I that we have.
okay,
So, and it's going to be with the older sections of the parish with terracotta pipe. We could fix the main line, but we don't, between the main line and the house connection is all terracotta as well. So we're probably going to reduce it. We're not going to reduce it all, but you'll probably see significant improvements. Because what's happening is we're now at that critical point of the 3 treatment plants that we're almost at our maximum capacity out there. So what that hurts is future growth in the parish.
sure, right.
So we need to try and reduce that. If we can reduce that, then we'll allow for building to continue to move forward.
Okay,
If I could add, one other thing that David has brought to us is a good understanding of what the codes need to be on sewer systems. And he is in the process of working with other people in the staff to refine those and update them. And I think that's going to be a big improvement for the parish as well.
okay. Okay, thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Dufresne?
Either you or Miles, where do we have, which areas we have terracotta lines? That's old school. I didn't think we came in the sewer the parish didn't pass the sewer till 80s. So they were still putting terracotta in the 80s? They weren't at PVC yet? Good Lord.
Well, no, they took over some of the older sections that might have had, because before the parish took everything over into one unified, you had individual.
Yeah, it was
So you
septic
probably
systems.
had some septic
Yeah.
and some terracotta that was put in, yes.
Oh, that's a headache.
We're getting ready to do Lone Star. That's one that y'all approved last year. It's getting ready to start construction, and that's old terracotta in there, so we're actually lining those existing sewer lines. So that's just one that was all terracotta before.